Hello and welcome to Inside the PGTI. This week we are back in Noida to feature the last two rounds of the PGTI Noida Masters 2014. But before we do that, let's have a quick look at all the action from round 1 and 2 at the Noida golf course. The opening day of the PGTI Noida Masters 2014 saw veteran Mukesh Kumar set the pace with a brilliant round of 6 under 66. He was in great form from the start with 4 birdies and an eagle on the 17th hole. Despite a front nine which saw him make 3 birdies and 3 bogeys, Mukesh had done enough to ensure he had a 4-shot advantage at the top. Rolex Rankings and PGTI Super Series leader Chikkarangappa didn't have the best of days as he could only card a disappointing round of 71 to end the day at 1 under 71. Rashid Khan had a forgettable outing, ending the day at 2 over 74 and was tied 29. A look at the leaderboard after round 1 confirmed that Mukesh Kumar was on top with a 4-shot advantage. However, it seemed there was all to play for with 9 golfers tied for the second place at 2 under 70. Day 2 at the Noida golf course saw Amardeep Singh Malik, one of the 9 golfers tied for the second place at the end of day 1, emerge at the top of the leaderboard. After teeing off from the 10th hole, Greater Noida's Amardeep shot his way up the leaderboard with a 67 to gain a comfortable 2-shot lead at the halfway stage. Amardeep's rise was only possible due to the spectacular collapse of Mukesh Kumar's game in round 2. 5 bogeys ensured Mukesh finished the day in second spot at 5 under 139 after a second round of 1 over 73. With a consistent round needed to keep his stranglehold on the PGTI Super Series title, Chikkarangappa finished his card on 71 for a second straight day. Rashid Khan continued his bad week in Noida with a round of 73 at 3 over and was tied 27. The leaderboard on day 2 confirmed that low scores once again were tough to find at the Noida golf course. With Mukesh Kumar slumping to the second spot, Noida's very own Vikrant Chopra and Bangladesh's Mohammad Zamal Hussain Mullah were tied in the 3rd place. The cut was declared at 7 over 151. 52 professionals made the cut. However, the momentum was with Amardeep Singh Malik, who was playing his second tournament after a long neck injury. An injury is always tough for any sports person, but for Amardeep Singh Malik, a severe neck injury made him question whether he should still carry on with the game he loved. The injury forced the 29-year-old Amardeep to withdraw from 2 tournaments in the first half of the year. Even though he came back with a strong 5th place finish at the PGTI Coimbatore Championship in April, he finally had to take a break from the tour in July to treat his injury.
I was just so frustrated, sitting at home, not being able to play golf, and especially in season when everybody else was playing golf. And this is all that I do. And it got so frustrating to a point that I actually thought that, do I even need to do this now? Is there something else that I should do? Because, whatever the injury was, it was never clear. I was so confused. I went to so many doctors and, it's been on for almost a year. And then when I finally got diagnosed properly, and I was told that, it's going to take 6 to 7 months. That was very frustrating.
Despite the frustration of staying out of action, Amardeep was positive and worked hard to make his comeback. He believed it needed just one good tournament to make an impact.
I always feel that, golf is a game which is, it's for everybody. You don't really need to play well throughout the year to actually win a tournament. Because I've been a pro for almost 10 years now, and I've seen every kind of people play well and play bad. Top players in top form have played really bad, and players who were struggling the week before have come back and just won. So this game that way is very, very different than any other game, and one of the reasons which I love it.
And with this positive attitude, Amardeep made his comeback at the CG Open in the first week of December in Mumbai.
Frankly speaking, I had no expectations. I am very, very happy just to be playing. And it is something, it's like that feeling that, which you get when you almost lose something. It means that much more to you when you, get it again. That's the feeling I came to Bombay with, that I was just so happy to be traveling, meeting friends, and, golf and golfers are like my second family. I mean, I spent so much time with them, that I kind of missed them. I missed all my buddies. And it was such a good time, to be with them and play in Bombay. And, I surpassed myself and my expectations when I made cut in Bombay. And I felt like, oh wow, this is good. Looks like I'm back.
With his comeback up and running, Amardeep rediscovered his love for the game. And he paid tribute to his father, who helped him decide at a young age about his priorities.
I love playing lawn tennis, and I wanted to play tennis, very seriously. But, things didn't work out there, and my dad had a half golf set, and I used to keep going on every Sunday and just banging it around, And then, my dad asked me a very serious question, that do you want to study and follow the path of millions, or do you want to do something else with your life? And, my father has been like that, he's been this not a very orthodox kind of guy, He's always pushed me to excel and, excel in different fields. He said that, whatever you do, you should be different from everybody else. And I just told him that, yeah, I would love to play golf seriously. He says, all right, then you need to leave Bombay, you need to leave your friends, and you need to go and practice hard. And that's what I did. I went to Meerut, I practiced hard, and within 1.5 years, I was the junior national champion of the country.
Amardeep's story is quite an inspiration, and all he wants to do now is to keep going.
The number one thing I look forward to do from within myself is to just be in this routine which I am in right now. Take care of my body, be physically fit, try to do the correct things, and if I keep doing everything the way I'm doing, then I'm sure I'm going to play well, because it's because of this process, it's because of this practice, it's because of this workout that you end up playing well. And if I can just continue with this process and not deviate from this, I'm sure I'm going to do well next year.
And going by the determination that Amardeep has shown in his remarkable return from a serious injury, it seems his fairy tale comeback story has quite a few chapters left in it. Coming up, all the action from round 3 at the PGTI Noida Masters. We'll be back in a short while. Welcome back to Inside the PGTI. It's now time for all the action from round 3 at the PGTI Noida Masters. With the Noida golf course still proving to be a tough task for the golfers, Ajitesh Sandhu started his day off with a bogey in the very first hole. However, he managed 2 birdies between bogeys in the first and 17th holes to end his round lying 6th after an even par 72. Rolex rankings and PGTI Super Series leader Chikkarangappa, who shot 71 in the first 2 rounds, had a frustrating 3rd round. Bogeys in the 5th and the 8th holes, as well as a double bogey at the 16th and another bogey at the 18th, saw him card a round of 74 to join a group of 3 men lying in joint 7th after 54 holes. Meanwhile, Kapil Kumar of Delhi, Noida's Vikrant Chopra and Bangladesh's Mohammad Zamal Hussain Mullah occupied tied 3rd place at 2 under 214. Kapil was the surprise package of the day. Despite bogeys on the 8th, 16th and 17th holes, 5 birdies on the back 9 ensured that he carded a round of 70 and would be part of the leader group on day 4. Local golfer Vikrant Chopra had a day of ups and downs, with 2 birdies and 2 bogeys on the front 9 and 2 birdies and 3 bogeys on the back 9. He eventually carded a round of 73. Like Vikrant, Bangladesh's Zamal kept himself in contention with a round of 73. Birdies on the 7th and 12th holes helped him counter bogeys on the 5th, 10th and 11th holes. Veteran Mukesh Kumar was trying to rediscover the rhythm that helped him into a 4-shot lead in the opening day. He started off in a blistering fashion with birdies on the 3rd, 5th and 10th holes. But like he did on day 2, Mukesh self-destructed after being 3 under for the day through 11 holes. 4 bogeys and 6 holes in the back 9 set him back yet again. After one last birdie on the 17th hole, Mukesh went into round 4 lying second at 5 under, 211, keeping some hopes alive for a record 16th PGTI title. While the other golfers not rising to the challenge, it was left to overnight leader Amardeep Singh Malik to extend his domination in Noida. Amardeep turned out yet another consistent performance to take a commanding 4-shot lead in round 3 of the PGTI Noida Masters. Amardeep made 3 birdies on the front 9 and 3 on the back 9 to stretch his lead and consolidate his grip on the leaderboard. Amardeep, the only golfer in the tournament to have gone under par in each of the 3 rounds, also had bogeys on the 5th and 18th holes as well as a double bogey on the 11th. However, he had done enough on day 3 to ensure that his 2 under 70 helped him emerge as the clear title favourite as his total moved to 9 under 207.
This is actually one of the very rare times when I'm enjoying myself because, I've come back from an injury layoff and, I'm really happy just to be playing again. And Mukesh is a great champion, everybody knows it. And, playing with him is definitely a privilege on the 3rd round and on the 4th round tomorrow. So if I'm able to defeat him, it will be like a really big feather in my cap.
A look at the standings after round 3 confirmed that barring a spectacular collapse, the title was in the grasp of Amardeep Singh Malik. Mukesh Kumar was 4 shots behind in 2nd place. In joint 3rd place, the likes of Kapil Kumar, Vikrant Chopra and Bangladesh's Mohammad Zamal Hussain Mullah had plenty to do. Not too long ago, before the PGTI Noida Masters took place, there was tragedy in the sporting world, with Australian cricketer Phil Hughes passing away. The young cricketer never regained consciousness after being struck by a cricket ball on his neck during a Sheffield Shield game at the Sydney Cricket Ground. With golf being another sport where the ball travels at a huge speed, there is always the risk of an errant ball causing some damage to the golfers.
The ball can actually go offline, quite a long distance. If you hit a bad shot, you can hit it 30-40 yards offline. And we don't have that many spectators for the first few rounds. The final day, maybe the final group has a few people. So it is possible, but funnily enough, you don't see it that often.
Which is exactly what happened, with the ball striking the stomach of Ashbir Saini, who was waiting to take a tee shot at the Noida golf course.
Just today, another golfer got hit today, so it's. I think you really have to watch out and make sure that both fairways are clear, that you're going over and your fairway, and you really have to take your time and not hurry it up, because otherwise, it can be a recipe for disaster.
While there was no big damage, the pros believe that everyone on the greens should be very careful and alert.
You have to be really cautious and careful when you're playing on, very small golf courses. And it's just an accident. You can just count it as an accident. But obviously, when you see the ball going somewhere, you have to shout for the ball. So at least the players are aware of it.
Ball is smaller, it travels faster than a cricket ball, and you don't even really see it. You're not. If it's coming at you from any angle. So I think it's best that people are firstly playing in turn, and secondly that everyone is stationary and attentive to the person whose turn it is to play. So in that way, I think you also honor the person who's playing and provide that etiquette.
The golfers believe that if certain precautions are kept in mind, the possibility of being hurt on the golf course remains very less.
If you follow your etiquette, be at the right place and then keep watching right, left, and be, if you're alert, I'm sure that you don't get. But unfortunately, sometimes you don't expect those things to happen. But it's hard luck. It's a bad luck, so you can't help it, because sometimes you do get hit even after being very careful. The thing is, end of the day, you have to take it in a positive way. You know, sometimes do happens, so we have to just let it go and then look ahead what we need to do. But it's really sad to hear that when that happened to that cricketer, it was really hurtful for every cricketer and every sportsman, because he's one of the greatest player and just got hit on his jaw, and then that happened. It's not easy for any sports person to take it, because while playing sport, something happens, it hurts every sports person. So it's a really tough one.
With the golfing world too sharing the pain of losing a fellow sportsman playing a sport he loved, being careful, alert and following the proper etiquette will ensure that a similar tragedy is averted on the golfing greens. The thrilling conclusion of the PGTI Noida Masters. All the action from the final round coming up in a short while. Welcome back to Inside the PGTI. Time now to delve into all the exciting action from round 4 at the 2014 PGTI Noida Masters. Noida's Vikrant Chopra and Bangladesh's Mohammad Zamal Hussain Mullah started the last round in Noida in the same group and enjoyed third place after both carded rounds of 73 on day 3. It seemed Vikrant was suffering from nerves as he started the day with bogeys on the first and third holes. He did manage to claw back into contention with a birdie putt on the second, fifth and eighth holes. Meanwhile, a confident Zamal sank birdies on the first and second holes. However, a bogey on the third hole stalled his progress. Zamal came storming back on the front nine with a birdie on the seventh hole. Giving Vikrant and Zamal company in the same group was Ajitesh Sandhu. A bogey on the second hole ensured that he had to play catch-up with the top of the leaderboard. With Zamal and Vikrant hogging the spotlight in their group, all the attention was also on the leader group consisting of overnight leader Amardeep Singh Malik, Mukesh Kumar and Kapil Kumar. Amardeep, who was playing pressure-free golf over the last 3 days, suddenly started wilting. Bogeys on the first and fourth holes ensured he was losing the advantage of going into the last round with a 4-stroke advantage. Mukesh Kumar was ideally placed to take advantage of Amardeep choking under pressure. He started well with a birdie on the first hole, but back-to-back bogeys on the 6th and 7th holes ended a very ordinary front nine for him. Unaccustomed to being part of the leader group on the final day of the tournament, youngster Kapil Kumar had mixed fortunes on the front nine with a bogey on the 5th hole. He also made a birdie putt on the 8th. Just ahead of the leader group, Vikrant and Zamal were making proceedings very interesting. Vikrant self-destructed on the back nine with bogeys on the 11th, 15th and 16th holes, with birdies on the 12th and 18th holes, his only consolation. After 3 birdies and bogey on the front nine, Zamal had a steady back nine, with a bogey on the 16th hole, his only blemish. With Zamal and Vikrant keeping themselves in contention, Amardeep continued to choke on the greens of the Noida golf course. On the back nine, while he ceded further ground with bogeys on the 11th and 13th holes, a double bogey on the 14th hole was disastrous for the overnight leader. Mukesh Kumar also seemed to have lost his will to fight, with back-to-back bogeys on the 13th and 14th holes. With Zamal now ahead by a stroke, Amardeep needed to get the situation back on the even ground, which he did so by sinking birdie putts on the 15th and 17th holes. However, bogeys on the 16th and the 18th holes ensured that Amardeep had to fight it out with Zamal in a playoff for the PGTI Noida Masters 2014 crown. Both Amardeep and Zamal ended with matching totals of 3 under 285 and thus proceeded for the playoff on the 18th hole. During the playoff, Zamal was the one who seemed like buckling under pressure, finding the green in 4 shots after hitting a bunker. With Zamal dropping a bogey, all eyes were on whether Amardeep would somehow manage to salvage what had been a woeful day for him, and the golfer from Greater Noida rose to the occasion. He somehow found the grit and determination in the playoff with 2 on the green and wrapped up his first ever title on the PGTI Tour with a 5-feet par putt. It was a fairy tale comeback for an emotional and delighted Amardeep and his family. The injury had kept him out for most of the year and he had doubts whether he would ever make a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, Zamal and me played together the first 2 days, and in a way, like when I went for playoff, I was telling Shalini, I was getting a ride with Shalini, and I told her that Zamal's my lucky charm because I played with him the first 2 days and I shot 7 under on a golf course which was not playing 7 under easy, and of course it was surprising for a lot of my friends that it ended up into a playoff. To me also, because I did not expect a round like this today, because I played very solid and I played really good all week, and I played really well today also. It's just that a lot of putts did not go in which were going in the first 3 days. So playoff was a surprise, but I'm really happy that I came up against Zamal and that I won, because he's also a very good player.
Vikrant Chopra shot a final round of even par 72 to finish third at 2 under 286, while Kapil Kumar and Mukesh Kumar shared 4th place. Khalin Joshi had a good final round of 70 to finish in 7th place, while Ashbir Saini and Sujjan Singh shared 8th place. Also finishing tied 4th and sealing the PGTI Super Series title was Chikarangappa. Chika became the Super Series champion after finishing tied 4th at 1 under 287. He fired a 71 in the final round to claim the bonus prize of rupees 30 lakhs.
I guess it's a proud moment. It's 7 events with this FedEx point system. Anybody can come in at any time, but then it was between me and Rashid as I won that CG Open. So it came all the way to the last tournament till the last hole. Probably I think it was really a tough competition between him and me, because the first 2 days also was drawn together. I guess, I don't know, is it to do with the Super Series or what, but it was absolutely facing one-on-one, because other guys who had probably less chances of coming close to us, but we were one-on-one facing each other. But then I had to I hold my nerves, and then just made sure that try and get this under my belt.
Chika, a winner of 2 Super Series events in 2014, ended on top of the Super Series points table with a tally of 3,837.61 points. Delhi's Rashid Khan, who finished tied 12th at Noida with 3 over 291, claimed the 2nd place in the Super Series rankings. Amardeep Singh Malik was placed 3rd in the Super Series. That's all we have from you from an action-packed 2014 PGTI Noida Masters. Congratulations to the winner Amardeep Singh Malik. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.